anniversary.
That hair was luxurious.
Hello,
Calling me a
everybody.
hobo.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome. What a way to start it, Brian.
I gotta back up. I gotta learn how to do that.
Hi, everybody. Welcome in.
Welcome to Trifecta Talks number 18. I was looking back at our videos, and let me tell you this: we've been doing this for almost 5 months.
Are you kidding me?
That's crazy. Oh yeah,
5
'cause
months.
we started in what, November? October?
Yeah,
Crazy.
November.
That's insane. I never would have.
We're almost
bananas.
we're almost toddlers. We're almost YouTube toddlers.
Almost YouTube toddlers.
I don't know how I feel about that statement.
That's how it works. 6 months, toddlers.
Yeah, I would know. I have a few kids.
Welcome to the chat, everybody who is here. I saw Jim was here. I'm not sure if he's still here, but Matt here, welcome back. As always, we'll have to make you a special badge when we get to that point in our lives where we can do things like that on YouTube.
You'll get a free.
But for now, we can't.
She'll have a free subscription to whatever paid thing we have at some point down the line.
Exactly. But seriously, thank you for joining. This is going to be a huge episode. I personally think it's going to be all Nintendo, and you know how I am with Nintendo. I'm very proud of my Nintendo. I took the day off to watch this direct, and I think there'll be Treehouse stuff after, so I have a better reason why I took it off. So, guess we'll just first start. How's everybody doing?
Pretty solid.
Doing good.
Rock
I'm
solid.
doing good.
Also,
Mr.
Jim
Mason?
says he left his. Great. Don't have to ask. Jim says he left his comment at like 11 o'clock last night.
Asher found that funny.
I did find that funny.
Yeah, Jim, I love the dedication. Thank you for that. And
Yes.
thank you for wishing me a happy birthday almost 6 months in advance. Love that.
Jim, my birthday's
Well
in December,
appreciated.
pal. So I'm looking forward to that happy birthday wish relatively soon.
Mine just passed last month.
That means you're getting an early one now.
Oh,
Like a year
that's how
ahead
that
of time.
works.
Yeah.
Yep.
He says he joined the stream when there was only 20 hours left. The commitment.
He camped out for this one.
Connor says, Jared, are you in the Blues Clues house?
That's kind of funny.
Yeah, all I need is the chair now. There's
You about the Blue Skidoo?
Yeah. Yep.
So anyways, let's just talk about what we're going to get through. So we're first going to always start off with what we're playing. We're going to head straight in and talk about last week's Direct and just our quick thoughts on that. And then we're going to go right into the bingo. And if there's any time left, I have a couple questions, to ask you guys, the chat, and, see what their input is about this upcoming Direct. So very loose kind of stream in some capacity. So we'll just start off with what we're playing. I'll start. I've picked up a game on. I haven't picked up a new game on Switch. I got back into starting a new game on Switch. Was Super Mario 3D World. I've been currently blazing through that again.
That's it?
Noise.
I don't know what else to tell you. I finished I'm going through 100% in Galaxy. I did the Mario, and now I'm playing as Luigi, so I'm at like the tail end of that now.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So basically just been playing a lot of Switch in amping it up,
Yeah.
I think that's really it. I haven't played a lot of my PS5 recently. Last thing I played on my PS5 was Doom Eternal, and haven't touched it.
Fair
And I probably won't touch it in a very long time. Not a very long time, but
No, just be honest.
No, I'll touch it again soon. I'm sure. Like, I'll definitely pick it up again when like Ghost of Tsushima or Ghost of Yotei comes out.
Yeah. Balatro, baby. That's it over here. That's picked it back up again, had mods added to it now. And so now I put another 10 hours in it since the last time we talked. Yeah, don't make those eyeballs. How many hours you got in college football? How many hours you got in college football?
I don't know. I gotta look.
There's a
Is
feature
there a
on
way
Xbox.
to find that out?
There's a feature, you can look at it. You can look it up on Xbox.
I'm gonna try to see.
So
if
now I have almost 80 hours in Balatro. Let's see how much you have in college football.
How do I find that?
It's somewhere on the either on the app or in
I'm
on the
looking
actual
on the app
Xbox
right
itself.
now. I'm gonna find it.
Doom Eternally Touched. Oh, untouched.
Untouched.
Connor said,
Connor
Jared, just
says-
stand in the corner and look at the Blair Witch wall. I got to be honest, I do not understand that reference because I have not seen Blair Witch. So
You've never
I
seen
bet,
Blair Witch?
No, but I bet it's funny. I bet it's a funny comment, but I'll laugh for it. I don't know.
I'm just gonna imagine you watching it like 20 years down the line, and you're like, I get that.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
How many
Hold
hours
on.
you got in it, Brian?
Give me a second. Yeah, hold on. I gotta pull up a calculator. Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
What, you got it to the exponent?
Oh, that's crazy.
How many hours you got in it, Brian?
192. No, hold on. 200 hours.
Oh,
And you get on me for having
So I have a total of
80 hours in
8
Balatro.
days, 8 hours, 50 minutes played.
200 hours.
200
Who has the problem
hours.
now? You guys have been making fun of me for months. You have 200 hours in college football. You've been
When
making
did you
fun of me
start
for
playing
months.
Balatro?
When did you start playing college football?
Like
he
July.
started playing it on his birthday.
In July?
Jared-
What? I don't know when I
Yeah.
started playing Balatro.
Jared, you were
I don't
starting
know.
on your birthday. Your birthday.
Oh, right around. So December. Yeah. So in
Yeah.
4 months, I put almost 80 hours. And since July, you put in 200.
What can I say?
I think that's about the same.
Crazy.
I think I put in the same amount for like Animal Crossing when it first came out. Like I have that many hours on that game.
Just went
And I was like
ballistic.
200 hours.
I think.
Yeah. Well, that's it. That's all I've been playing. I haven't touched WWE. I haven't touched anything else. That's it. Because, like I said, I added mods and I figured out how to do that, and it adds a lot to the game, and it's really fun.
Matt here says, Brian, you got that Jamie's juice in you? I don't know what that means.
Oh, the Jameis juice. Jameis Winston, the best quarterback in the NFL.
Oh.
You got that Jameis juice in you. You can't stop now. The
I
horse
thought-
is ready
I
for
thought-
battle, Colleen.
I thought it was a typo, so I thought it was supposed to be
Oh,
Jamie's
no.
juice.
No.
Also, college football is on Game Pass. It
I
just got
saw
added
that.
to
That's
Game Pass
crazy.
on
That's really
Xbox.
cool.
So your 200 hours versus my 0 in college football, the newest one, I'll still kick your rear in college football, even though I haven't even played it yet.
You sure about that?
No, I'm not. So is that what you've been playing, Brad, guys? Just that show? Or that game, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so I got back into it. I had sat out for like a week and a half, something like that, because I was starting to play a little bit of PS2, and then we did something in my D&D campaign. Like we started like a side thing where we tried to put together like this, like almost like I'm gonna call it fantasy football, but like in more literal terms, not like the actual fantasy football we all know, like literally like with spells and stuff like that, but it's football. And when we were playing that, I'm like, man, I kind of miss playing college football. So I booted it up and I finished out my most recent season, won the national title again. What can I say? And then I'm 3 games into my most recent season and I'm 2-1. I lost to Georgia at home. But that's basically been it. I know coming soon, hopefully, I will start playing some more PS2 because I plan on picking up some more games for it. I want to get ones that we mentioned before. I want to get ESPN NFL 2K5. I want to get NFL Street.
Yeah, because I beat Brian in both of those. Actually, Brian beat me in NFL Street.
We're 1-1, yeah. And I
Yeah.
almost came back. If I knew how the no huddle worked in NFL 2K5, there was a chance.
Yeah, he might have
There was
taken
a
it.
slim chance. Because you were up 21-7 at one point. And
The only reason why I was able to win was because of field goals. I could not score a touchdown to save my life.
You were up 20-7 at one point, and then I almost came back, and the final score was 26-21. I was like this close.
Still beat you. A win's a win, brother.
I just couldn't I didn't notice the no huddle. Like if you mash the no huddle button.
I think it prompted you.
I wasn't reading anything. I was too locked in. I just knew in like every other Madden and college football that I've ever played, if you mash the no huddle, it automatically just like it sends you back to it brings you to where the spot of the ball is. But it sets you up with the previous play, and then from there you can audible. That's what I was under the impression of. I didn't see anything. It was most likely there. I just missed it.
It was there.
But then the other one was, what was that NCAA? It was, which one was it, Jared? It was
what?
The one that you said, I asked you if it was like
06.
06, yeah. So I want to try and get those three.
And NCAA football 06 is amazing.
Yeah. I think I'm going to get those three. Then I might just be playing PS2 exclusively for a little bit because I had played so much college football recently. Obviously, 8 days in the game is crazy. But it was around my third game. I could already feel the burnout again, and I was like, I think I needed a much longer break than like a week or whatever it was. So, I think this is a great time to play some PS2.
Yep, I was playing that for a bit as well, the PS2 stuff. But then we moved, and then I saw some mods for Balatro and went, I could put another 80 hours into this game.
Yeah, why not?
I still plan on buying a Steam Deck, and so once I buy a Steam Deck, those hours in that game is just gonna jump.
Oh yeah.
Or you just buy it on Switch 2.
Nah, I'm gonna get a Steam Deck.
I was at a friend's place.
Wait, can I?
Go ahead.
Sorry. If when the Switch 2 comes out, will you? Is there a chance you might switch sides?
I don't like the sides conversation because I think that's silly. I think choosing a side is because I have a Switch, so it doesn't.
Yeah, well, I was just a curious question.
So are you asking if I'm gonna buy a
would you
Steam
get
Deck
a Switch? Would you get a Switch 2 first before a Steam Deck?
No.
No. Not even if it entices you with something.
I don't know what that would be to entice. Well, I kind of have an idea what that would be to entice me to buy.
We'll talk about it more later.
Yeah. I have an idea what it would take for me to be like, okay. But as of right now, no. But we'll see.
Okay. Brian, was there anything else you wanted to add?
Yeah, you were gonna say something about.
Oh shoot, I already forgot. I was at a friend's place, not this past weekend, but the weekend before, and somebody else brought their Steam Deck, and they had it set up as like they had a mouse and everything, and they were running it like a normal like PC. It was the coolest thing.
Yeah,
it
then
was
you could
really
buy
cool.
a dock to connect that to the television.
That's what he was doing. So he had it connected to the TV and was using that as like his monitor. It was cool. So if you get one, it's gonna be pretty sick.
Yeah, I plan on it. I have to wait. My wife said I have to wait just a few weeks, and then I can get it because we just
a few weeks.
So it's just
sooner than I thought it was gonna be.
In a few weeks. Yeah, I might. Have
okay.
We'll see.
Catching up on the chat.
Sure.
Connor asks, you know what also is on Game Pass? Cheggers. Jim says nobody talks about the best quarterback of NFL's 1935 season, Bill the Bone Eater McGillicuddy. Is that real? Okay, great. Glad everybody's in
I-
agreement.
Jim,
Matt
no.
Harris says.
Keep going through the comments. It's the last one.
I see it. No, I see what he said. Matt here says Trifecta Tournament College Football Edition. That's when our shop comes out.
Yeah, that's right. Connor said, ask Jared about Mario Chalmers and Danny Granger. They're basketball players. I have no idea what he's talking about other than the fact that they're basketball players.
And then lastly, what you just said, Brian, docs Jonathan right now and say his address.
Jonathan was the one who brought the Switch. Not the Switch, the
Switch.
Steam Deck.
Steam Deck. We were at Jim's place. That's where it
All
was. Oh, Matt here brings up a great point. We should have a college football tournament, trifecta tournament. We should.
Not
We
with
should.
me.
We should. Yes. But, well, we get you in here. We're gonna need one more person though, because so we can have like.
Yeah, somebody who's
we can
actually
do
good
Justice.
at the game.
We can bring Justice in.
That's what I was thinking. We get Justice
he
on.
good?
Justice
We'll do
might
college-
be here right now. I don't know if he's in chat or if he's in the show, but he might be.
Is-
He'll be joining us shortly if he's
Oh,
not already on.
Well, Jim
Is he
said.
good? Is
Oh,
he
sorry, go
good?
ahead.
Is,
I think so. I hope so. I don't know.
well, I had to team up with him.
Oh! Is he good at college football? Yeah,
Yeah.
he's pretty good. Yeah,
No, not his mental state.
yeah, he's doing all right. I don't know.
Connor says, Jared, what's your favorite basketball player and why is it Joaquin Noah?
Joakim Noah asked,
Oh,
asked Mario Chalmers and Danny Granger about Jared.
Justice has entered the chat.
Yeah, he's got a panda bear. I think that's a representation of his body type.
What is wrong with you?
Going after our fan base yet again.
It's Justice.
Telling them
He
they
can
can't
handle it.
spell last week.
I did say
This
that.
week
That
you're-
was hilarious. That was so. I stand by
No,
what I
my,
said.
you know, Brian, when I was in Barnes and Nobles last weekend, I went to the movie section. I said, "It's on Criterion."
It's on Criterion.
That was so funny. Anyways, sounds good. You guys seem to be playing some awesome
Hold on
games
real
as-
quick.
Oh.
Jim said he did bring his Switch. Also, probably that is very true. Jonathan brought every console and controller under the sun to this get together.
Jesus.
Sounds like my kind of guy.
There were like 5 Xbox controllers on the table. I don't know where they.
Why are there 5?
I don't know. And 5 isn't like going like that's not like an over exaggeration. I counted 5.
I believe you.
That's funny. I'm very curious as to why Justice has not responded to my comment yet, because I think he's either brewing up for something or he completely missed it.
He's driving.
So we should bring
straight to
it
you.
up one more time, Jared.
No, I'm not going to do it again.
Oh, now you're not.
Oh,
Gonna
I
do
was
it.
talking about the college football thing.
Oh, that's not what I was talking about.
Oh.
He was talking about when he called.
I was talking about the fact that he resembles a panda bear.
No, see, there it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, Justice, if you're still watching, college football tournament, we're gonna do on Trifecta. I don't know when, but it's gonna be us 3 and then you, and we'll figure out the matchups. Brandon, you have no choice.
I know I don't.
What button do I press? Where does triangle go? What's a snap? Who's my wide receiver?
I know the buttons.
What's the
I just-
quarterback?
I'm not that bad.
Home run?
Jim says, don't forget the light gun and pedals. He did also bring a like a gun to connect to the Steam Deck to play like some shooter thing, whatever, and he also had pedals.
That's hilarious. That's
He
awesome.
brought the whole.
He's
He
my
brought the
kinda guy.
whole.
I want to
setup.
invite him over to our place.
Please
I know the
do.
guy.
Do it.
Justice says Jared has its own zip code. He is the. You can't be saying stuff like that here.
That's-
Squibbo. Welcome to the chat. You're coming in at a weird time.
Yeah, I know who that is. What's up, man?
You
Nice
you
to see
do.
you.
Thank goodness. Thank goodness it's somebody you know.
Brandon Brandon's sweating his shirt right now. Like, oh my god.
About to get an email from Google saying get out right now. He says I F with the Scott hoodie. That's a gift from me. I gave him that shirt.
Well, it's not it's a shirt, first of all, not a hoodie. And
Not a
secondly,
hoodie.
thank you.
Brian has a hoodie and I have a hoodie.
I
We
do
all
have
have
a
the same
hoodie.
shirt.
Yeah. So Brandon didn't think I was worthy enough to have a hoodie. He only just
I
bought me-
didn't know.
He only just got me a shirt because he felt that I placed second to Brian. So he was like, "Here's your second place trophy."
My turn. I didn't know you liked Scott the Laws. I had no idea you watched him. And you were just lucky enough to get one because they accidentally sent me a t-shirt with
Yes,
your
I know.
size. So
I know. That's funny.
be grateful.
I'm very grateful. I love this shirt. All right. You want to talk about us getting banned for comments? We're gonna get banned for that motion.
Too much motion going on.
Too
there,
much
Brandon.
motion.
Good lord, this is a PG show.
I don't even
Uh,
think that's PG.
Justice says Whitey. And have Matt here says Google be like, babe, what?
Favorites, yep.
All right, let's get the ball rolling. We're going to jump straight into talk about last week's Nintendo Direct, or should I say surprise Nintendo Direct in some way, because I think it's just crazy that they had one. But if you think about it, the Switch will be continuing on as the Switch 2 does its thing. So I think I just wanted to drop some quick thoughts on it, what we thought about it. Any details? Anybody want to start first, or?
I thought it was I was texting you, Mason, as it was
Yeah.
going on, and it was a wild direct. It show just whatever. In just terms of like the funniest bit was they do Metroid Prime 4, which looks really cool. I was like, oh, that looks
Yeah.
kind of cool. And then
Yeah.
immediately the next game was Disney's Villains Cafe, which is the complete. I laughed out loud. I was like, this is the funniest thing I've ever seen. Overall, I thought it was fine.
Yeah, well, I thought it was good.
Yeah.
But it does really indicate of what's going on at Nintendo right now, because if you notice, except for Prime, a lot of the games that they said, like Tomodachi Life, Living the Dream, and Rhythm Heaven, I think that was primarily it from first party stuff. There might be
Yes,
a
I
few
think-
in between.
No, I think that was it.
Yeah, but a lot of them were 2026.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. Yeah, I was like, oh,
And I think a lot of that is just due to that they're going to focus a lot on Switch 2 right now. I think they're going to have to put some of their dice aside for the first Switch and just really hone in on the Switch 2 players for now up until the holiday season.
well, or they're just misleading, and those two games will be Switch 2 exclusives or Switch 2.
You think?
They've misled before, just like
Have they?
misleading, just saying,
Example?
oh, maybe it's gonna be this, but it's actually
Example?
Breath of the Wild.
No,
It
they
was
got
supposed to be a
delayed.
Wii U game. Well, it was supposed to be a Wii U game, and then it got delayed, and then it went to a Switch game.
Right,
and
but
then
I
a
think
Switch and Wii U.
but it says 2026. I don't think I
No,
don't think they'd go back.
no, I understand. What I'm saying is that maybe it won't be Switch. It'll just be Switch 2. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I think it's gonna be both. I
think
think
it'll be
those
both?
games, yeah, there'll be a Switch enhanced version, and or there won't be. Some of these games might not need to be Switch enhanced.
Switch 2
all.
enhanced.
They might just be how it is. I mean, it might run at 60 and it might run at 4K, what may be it, but I don't think it's gonna have like a big I don't expect Tomodachi or Rhythm Heaven to have big graphical updates. There's only so much you can do with how those games look. You know what I mean?
Rhythm
So-
Heaven's gonna have ultra graphical settings in 4K, 120 FPS on Rhythm Heaven.
So I think that's just the plan. I think they're putting all their marbles onto Switch 2 right now, and at least up until the holiday season, just to get the ball rolling, just to show people we've got games on Switch 2 that are going to be better than Switch 1. Obviously.
Well, that's the thing, right? So they seemingly have a little bit of confidence just from
Yeah.
that direct of like, there's this big chunk of time you don't know what's coming, right? Between April and December, we don't know anything.
Right. And I
So-
think the way they're positioning Metroid Prime, that's the game that's going to be like the Breath of the Wild, where it is just look at the Switch version and then look at the Switch 2 version.
Mhm.
It's going to look monumentally better on Switch 2 as far as lighting goes and just everything
FPS.
else.
Hopefully it doesn't
FPS.
chug like every
Yeah.
other game on Switch. Just chug. It's like,
I don't
come
think
on.
every game chugs, but yeah, I thought it was fairly nice. It was for it being a nice surprise right before the Switch 2 Direct. I thought it was done fairly well. Comparing between like PlayStation's State of Play or whatever the heck that was.
Yeah, this was like a godsend compared to
Yeah.
that pile of crap. Yeah, this is way better. This is way better.
It's just, I mean, there's great stuff in that Direct or that State of Play. Don't get me wrong. It's just, at least for a dying console, it's giving people more hope to buy. Like Patapon's coming, everybody's golf.
Oh, that
Like,
was
there's there's still some big games coming out.
yeah.
for the first
Patapon,
Switch.
I was pretty pumped about. I was like, oh, yeah,
I'm
that
excited.
game was awesome.
I'm excited for Patapon.
Brian,
really am.
what's your opinion on everything?
So I didn't watch it live, unfortunately, like you guys did. I typically don't catch the directs live.
It's almost like
so
you had a job to do or something. I don't know. You had like a responsibility or something. I mean, who has?
I was
something-
on the clock working the old 9 to 5.
Fair
So
enough.
I looked up everything that happened, and I mean, for me personally, I mean, like they revealed a lot, and I think that's very good on them. As compared to like the PlayStation was a State of Play. I think it was pretty good. Not a whole lot like jumped out to me, probably as much as you guys. I think the ones that really caught my eye were Pokemon Legends Z through A,
Yeah.
whatever we want to call that. The one I think I'm most excited for is Marvel Cosmic Invasion. I didn't know that
Yes!
was a thing.
I forgot
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah,
that
Yes.
looks pretty
that
awesome.
looks cool.
I'm so.
I-
Is that who's the company about? Is that the people that did Shredder's Revenge?
You know what? If it is, it wouldn't surprise me. We're gonna find out right now.
Yeah,
Um,
let me look it up.
But
While you, sorry.
oh no, I was gonna say like I mean I've made it clear before. I love a good just side scroller beat 'em up, something you could just turn your brain off and have some fun for a little while.
Totally.
And this just like for something Marvel, like we haven't gotten anything like this in quite some time from them, so this is
Yeah,
pretty sick.
I'm excited. That I forgot about that. Thanks for reminding me. And I think that's
Oh,
a
of
holiday
course.
release. That's a holiday.
Oh, really?
Release. Yeah. But Jared, you didn't talk about your big reveal from that direct.
so for me, it's funny because I was just talking about this game. What are you gonna say, Bri?
They were both made by the same company.
Oh, Shredder's Revenge.
Oh, yeah.
and that
Tri-
one.
I had a
Tribute
feeling.
Games. Yeah.
That's
Yep.
awesome. That
That's
game looks
pretty
really
sick.
fun.
So it's gonna be good, I think. I don't think
Yeah.
there's any ifs if it will be. Like Shredder's Revenge was great. It was simple. It was exactly what it needed to be.
yeah, it's a fun.
I think Cosmic Invasion is a nice like step up, like in terms of
Yes.
like just doing more with that same idea. So I think it's gonna be great.
Yeah, that looks fun. The big one for me was because I have been waiting for this announcement to come, and I think it's quite funny that they put it in a Switch Direct. But that's a game I honestly thought was I thought it was dead. Well, I thought that game was dead. I thought it was announced 5 years ago, something like that, something crazy, and it never nothing. And I was like, this game's never coming out, and everybody's been saying it's never coming out. Witchbrook, that game to me is I need that game now. I need it in my life. I even showed it to my wife, and she's like, I was like, I know. We need that. And you could do cross-platform play, and
But
I
you
don't
know
know-
what?
I don't know what
I
else
don't
it's going to
think-
include.
I don't know if that game's coming to other consoles but Switch and Steam.
No, I actually I don't know that answer. I know the Steam
Look it up.
version.
I looked it up and it only says right now Windows, so Steam and Switch, and that's it.
Yeah, probably. Hold on, let's see. No, Steam, Switch, and Xbox. Other
Oh, okay.
platforms, TBD. That's what it says right on their website.
Oh, okay. So, well, there you go. Then PlayStation's not in on it. That's crazy.
I'm so pumped for that game. That game looks so fun. And I'm a massive Harry Potter fan, and so that game just is tapping into that Hogwarts Legacy itch. And
Nice.
the art style looks gorgeous. Lydia and I, my wife, we're also Studio Ghibli fans, and so that reminds us of a few Ghibli movies as well. The whole setting, and so we're pretty pumped over here at the Flaherty household for that game. I was hoping. I texted Mason. I was like, "Shadow drop it now. This game's been dead, has been talked about. Let's drop it now." But no, we gotta wait till the holiday.
Yeah.
But that's okay. December, I think, or just holiday this year.
I think
wanna
it's just
say
holiday.
holiday. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited.
But
That was
holiday is like November, so it could be November at the earliest.
it's probably gonna get delayed again. Or they're probably
You
gonna
think?
delay it.
Nah.
I mean, the only reason why I'm saying that is because, again, it was announced many, many moons ago. Out of the blue, here it is again.
don't
They're
know.
showing it again. It might get delayed. I don't know. I would love if it does get delayed. Then that means they still need to work out some kinks, which I'm okay with waiting a little bit longer for a more polished game, as opposed to them releasing it and then it running like dog water. But let's hope that it comes out and it's awesome, because it has a lot of potential, that game.
Totally. It'll definitely be a buy for me. Catching up on chat real quick. Scuba goes, is that a PS3 mic? I think he's talking to you, Brian.
Technically, yes, it is. It was $20, and it was my favorite buy for this entire podcast. Sounds
And it
great.
works-
I know.
Works wonders.
That's honestly
Yeah.
might be the best mic out of all three of us.
Which is insane.
Yep. I paid almost
Brandon's
$100. Kinda. Jim says PG stands for pretty graphic, I think. Stands
Pretty
for
graphic podcast. Because I said
That's
this
right.
podcast was PG.
PGP. Matt here says puts marbles on Switch 2. Marbles roll off. Mio puts his head in his hands. It didn't work. Switch 2 fails.
I thought I heard something. Did you hear that? Was that upstairs? No, hold. Did you hear that? All right, never mind. Maybe I'm just going crazy. You can pause it. Just hit X on that. On the red controller. On the red controller. Are those red? No, it might not be X. Hold on. Just hand it to me.
Jared's talking to his hostage.
Yeah, I'm talking to my. Yeah. He's in my.
Yeah.
Alright, there you go.
Skibbo says Pokemon ZA looks mid, but I'm gonna shut up and buy it, pay anyways. Like every other Pokemon fan out there.
Yeah, the game looks like crap. I'm sorry. The game looks like absolute crap. I don't get it.
We talked about, well, Jared and I talked about this on the side a little bit, but I'll keep it in. I'll sneak it in here because I watched a video on this, and it's kind of crazy how $1 billion company can't make games. They make games. They make playable games. They just look like dog doo.
They look like crap. They run like crap. There's no innovation. And they're not fun. And they're boring. I don't get. Like Brian and I talked about this before, where he Brian will play it for a week, at least from what you've told me. You'll play it for like a couple days and be done because it's the same stuff every time.
Yeah.
I will say Arceus Legends changes it.
See, I tried that, and I still thought it was like, meh,
No, I
boring.
right, but it changed it. It changed it.
There-
Still,
yeah.
You can't say It changed it.
tried.
Open world. It was open world. They changed it. I think the issue is that Pokemon is so handheld. I think that's the issue they run into. Is like it looked better on handheld a lot of the games, and I
Yeah, you
think
could
they're
argue
still
Yeah.
right. I mean, and a lot of the games look like 3DS titles. Like that's their issue. But hopefully,
Well, I'm just saying, it's not like they're strangers to console games, right? I mean, they've been doing it forever. The GameCube was notorious for having what some people say the best GameCube game or the best Pokemon games on GameCube. What? Oh, that's what that noise was. Okay, so I'm not crazy. All right. Anyways, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say like, I don't. Maybe it's just like ZA Legends looks that way is like because it's not a Switch 2 game. If you think of it that way, they were making a game for the Switch 1, and that's just it. And I think that's
that's so
the
silly.
listen. That's how they've always worked.
Yeah.
There was they always just tackle the market that's going to have the biggest outcome. So right now, I think at the time when Switch came out, they put out Ultra Moon and Ultra Sun on 3DS, even though we were in the midst of Switch doing really well.
And then proceeded to pump out 20,000 Pokemon games. Not really, obviously, but like 15. Like 15 Pokemon. Did anybody hear that? Can you guys?
Yes.
He's not supposed to be talking right now. Do you want to come over and say it since you want to be here? Do you want to say it? No, okay. Okay. You psycho.
So anyways, yeah, I don't know if Pokemon will ever change their ways. But yeah, so we'll just continue. So yeah, Pokemon ZA looks mid. Yeah, I just don't play Pokemon games a lot. Is Jared pregnant? I think this was when I was saying you had big news to share, and it wasn't that.
No, I'm not pregnant.
Matt here says puts a whole new meaning to father figure if he is. Oh.
If I'm what?
If you're pregnant.
Oh well.
I think that's what that means.
Is that what that meant? Okay.
I don't know. Also, how did I know that?
I
don't
think
know what we're talking.
might be.
What was
I
that
think it's
for,
in
Brian?
relation to this. Probably.
Oh,
The
right,
PS3 mic,
right.
yeah.
Makes sense. All right, back to the. So I think sounds like we were pretty happy with it, from what I understand. Maybe not for everyone's cup of tea, but there's definitely some good stuff to look forward to, even if you're not getting a Switch 2 on day one, basically.
Yeah, Rhythm Heaven looks awesome. Metroid Prime looks awesome. Tamagotchi looks not Tamagotchi. They randomly just announced a new Tamagotchi game in the middle of the direct. I literally was laughing out of my mind because I was like, this company and what they choose to put in their direct is so funny to me. They can go from the super serious Metroid Prime 4, and then to Tamagotchi, then 3 down, and then at the end we end with what is it? What's the one? What's the weird one called? They're exclusive.
Tomodachi
Yeah. Life. Okay.
Yeah.
I played that on 3DS. That game was unbelievably hilarious and also kind of fun to play. But
it is fun.
The fact that that game closed the show, to me, I would have done the reverse, and I would have done Rhythm Heaven to close the show, and then done that before, because I think that's just my personal preference. But like, that's so funny that they chose that game to close the show.
Do you know that? I don't think you understand the Tomodachi fan base.
Is it big?
Oh, they've been clamoring for a sequel.
Bunch of weirdos.
You're one to say. You're the one that played it.
I actually kind of liked it, so maybe I'll
All right,
Brian, what's up? Any final thoughts from you there, fella?
Yeah, I was just looking at some more like screenshots and stuff of Pokemon Legends, and I mean, like, what interests me the most is that I didn't realize it was a direct sequel. I was getting the vibes of this, but I didn't realize that it is actually a direct sequel to Pokemon X and Y, which, to me, those are two of the more underrated Pokemon games. Nobody talks about those anymore. And those were, I think, anybody in the chat can correct me if I'm wrong. I think these were the first ones to, what is going on in the chat?
No, it's not in the chat. It's not in the chat. It's a Snapchat that I received.
No real-time chat. Shame. I love that game. It's amazing.
Like, people got to get it together. And Brandon, you guys are all adding into that too, so everybody's got to calm down.
I think this was the first one where they used actual full 3D models for like your character, like just the people, and it was the first one to like kind of dabble into a more like traditional open world rather than the normal like the past Pokemon games where it's like it is technically open world, but you're limited to whatever's in your selected area. It's not just you can't just go out and roam whatever. Like this, it was all modeled after I think Paris, and so basically you could go around and just like check out Paris and whatnot. It was really cool. And nobody talks about it. And I think this is cool that it's a direct sequel. I don't think it will be as good just based on the current slate of Pokemon games we've gotten. I've talked about my distaste for Pokemon. Scarlet is the one I got. It's a really cool idea. It's something that I have wanted out of Pokemon for a very long time, but they
Doesn't
just
that
have not
frustrate
been hitting.
you as a fan of the
Yeah.
series forever? Doesn't that frustrate you to no end that, like Brandon said, $1 billion company can't innovate and put out a game that actually runs halfway decent on the system? That's got to frustrate you. And then you have this small little indie company making Pal World and completely blew Pokemon out of the water
Crazy,
in a matter of
isn't it?
24 hours.
That's crazy.
All because you added a little bit of innovation and people will
Just
buy it.
yeah. They've made great games before, but maybe they are unfortunately, maybe they're only good at making that specific style, that like the, more pixelated designs and stuff like that. I mean,
There's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that at all.
No.
I mean, stick with what you're, stick with what you're good with, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
They're trying, I think. But to say that I don't see this style of game working much longer in this franchise, is like they could very well just go back, but with how games are going now, and like for games like this, more like bigger open worlds and stuff like that are more desired. Unfortunately I see them sticking with this until they just don't make money on them anymore.
That's the thing, right? It's like people
Mhm.
are still buying them. So
Oh,
in
yeah.
their brain as a business, right? It's completely makes sense for them to be like, well, why would we change anything?
Right. Yeah, exactly. And
We just made another $100 million in the last game, right? So why
Exactly.
would we change anything?
They're solely just making butt tons of money off the name, pretty much now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100% the
Like
brand. Yeah.
like Scarlet and Violet, I want to say made like stupid amounts of money, and it kind of sucks to say that I contributed to that. Let me see how
that's
much.
because, right, you're loyal to that brand and you love that brand because it's it's tapping into something that maybe you want, that, or whatever, maybe it's nostalgia, maybe it's whatever it is, it's tapping into something for you and you feel the need to buy that no matter what. WWE, I'm the same way with. No matter if the game's crap or whatever, I'm still going to buy it because I love that brand. So I get it.
Me too.
How much did it make? I saw your face.
So it didn't give me a dollar amount. It gave me how many units it sold, and it is one of those two games are two of the, I think they're combining numbers here, but they are two of the best-selling Nintendo Switch games of all time at a combined 26.38 million units sold.
Yeah,
So they, and I saw something else where it said, it's all saying Scarlet and Violet, so maybe like this is like the combo package. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I think it combines both. It counts as one game.
Yeah. It's saying there's one that says it sold 10 million copies in 3 days, which is just like, I mean, cool. They're making money, but because of that, they can just copy and paste the same style of game now over and over and over again, and we can continue to complain.
Goose.
You're a silly goose.
Brian said yours. Uncle Brian said you're a silly goose. No more.
They're
Hi.
like I said, it's cool that
we're joined by another guest. I apologize.
another guest.
Do you want to say hi?
Say hi. Come on. No.
He
Oh,
Took him out.
somebody yanked the cord. Asher yanked the cord out of the computer. Brian, was there anything else you wanted to say? Sorry.
I mean, I just hope this one's good. I hope, but it. Oh no.
No, we're good. We're good. Hello. No,
Oh,
it was
okay. Okay.
put his ear up to it, and I laughed, and then I jolted quick, and then the cord pulled out.
Oh, gotcha. I like I said, I hope this one's good, as I do for all Pokemon games, because I love this franchise to death. But it's just looking like it's gonna be the same game, and it's such a shame because they're going back to one of my favorite generations. They're going back to like Johto, so. But they're putting it in this newer region, or the same. I don't know if it's the same region as X and Y, or if it's something else slightly different. But it's
No,
like I said,
it
it's
is.
cool.
It's
is?
in the
Okay.
past. It's a prequel.
It's a prequel. Okay. But it's the Johto era of Pokemon, and the Johto era is one of my favorite ones. Not my top favorite, but it's like second or third probably, or fourth. I'll say fourth.
Nothing.
It's funny. Your fan got louder all of a sudden.
It did,
Everything's
didn't it?
loud now.
Yeah, I don't
Everything's
understand
loud
that.
now.
All right, hold on. Give me a minute, everybody.
So while Jared's figuring that out, is there anything that happened in the chat? Because I have my other screen on full screen for the next segment.
Let's check it out. So, Matt Hare says, so the Euro Disney version of Pokemon, basically. Connor says they should just get Jared to develop a new species of Pokemon. Matt Hare Industries sent the 100 emoji. Skibo, however you pronounce that, says the Gonermon. Do those still come out? WWE games. Silly Goose, tell him I love him. Matt Hare says Jared got.
Nice.
Is it louder still?
Yeah. Why don't you turn the volume down on the mic itself?
Justice says Jared, get it together.
We're running a tight ship over here.
It's very sensitive.
What?
It got better.
Say hi.
All right. Yeah, sorry guys. We're running.
It's better now.
Running a professional ship over here. Thank you.
All right, we're gonna head straight into the big old bingo card. So, Jared and Brian, it's up to you to look at the chat while I do my thing here.
You got it. Jared, get it together. Shut up, Justice. Matt here says Jared got, as I do every day with children. Matt here. Oh, that's how you did it? Oh, I didn't do the reveal thing in front of it. Maybe I should have done
No,
it.
I did it.
Oh, wow, you really
Oh
did.
yeah, you went like.
I gotta
Brian,
amp it up
Mike
a little
literally
bit.
did
You
not.
put a lot of production into yours. I did not.
Yeah, there's babies down here.
Uh-oh. All right. Well, with that, I will get started and get the ball rolling. I'll wait for Jared to figure out his shenanigans.
Yeah, there's a lot going on over here. Trying to figure it out. I apologize.
Oh, you used Adobe Express?
I used Microsoft
I
Paint.
did.
I
Nice.
used Pixlr, a free
Nice.
editing site.
Adobe is free too.
Adobe is free. You're
Ain't
right.
nobody got time for that.
What do you mean?
Justice,
sign up with
what's
Google.
happening?
This is
Justice, you need to pay attention. Get your brain cells back and start using it. Start using
So-
your brain.
for those just coming in, we are going to show off our Switch 2 bingo card. So the way this works is that if you ever played bingo in your life, the idea is that you want to get a line or two lines complete. So we've created our own bingo cards with their own predictions. And I think we're just going to start showing them off and explain why we think they'll be at the show, hopefully.
Matt here said
ready?
the Rapture trademark. over here at the house. Yeah, pretty much.
Skibo says, "Jer, calm your minions."
Yeah, I'm trying to figure that out now. I can't. I don't. I've been trying for 5 years. It hasn't quite worked.
All right, we ready for the first reveal from me?
Yep.
Let's see it.
Mario Galaxy 3.
We are going to see shit. Elden Ring. I think it's a surefire that we see Bandai Namco at some point being the
Mine is
Bethesda.
I just have to say, my bingo card is so bland. You have actual
Mine is-
fonts from the game.
Mine,
and
dude,
everything.
Jared. I think mine and yours are gonna look very similar. Did you just like?
I just typed it out.
Yep, me too.
That's why I typed some out too, because there wasn't imagery for it.
You typed
They're
out
just-
the Elden Ring font and color?
No. That's just an image.
I
That's just
know,
an image.
I know.
Oh, okay. All right. I think Elden Ring's gonna be there. I think it's gonna be akin to like how Bethesda was at the first Switch one reveal. What?
CVS said, "Can people call into the show? I'd love to play bingo in my free time." And then he said, "I got a parlay on Brian winning bingo right now."
Buckle up, Buckaroo. Wait till you see this bingo sheet.
Check out your Kings draft now, DraftKings.
You're gonna get a free $10 when you sign up using the promo code Trifecta Gaming.
It could happen one day.
Sponsor us.
It will. It will happen.
It will happen. All right, so yeah, I think Elden Ring's somewhat of a guarantee. I feel like they got to be there. It's like I said, it's the equivalent of Bethesda being there for Skyrim. My next one is, and I know it's not a game everybody likes, but I do think Monster Hunter Wilds is going to be there in some shape or form.
Oh, you think so? The game runs like crap on PC. How do you think it's gonna run on Switch 2?
Might run great.
That would be that would be it. Yeah.
Hey, you don't even like the game, so why does it matter?
No,
to
I
you?
don't really. It doesn't.
I don't know. I just think it's gonna be there. I think Capcom and Nintendo, they really do get buddy sometimes, and they've been like lifelong partners for such a long time. I feel like so. I think it's definitely going to be there. And plus, they have a big Monster Hunter fan base. What is going on in the chat? Because I can't see.
I'm just laughing. No, continue. We can check back into the chat a little bit because these guys.
Are they going wild? I'm so afraid to look at.
It's quite funny. We can keep going. We'll check back.
There's
Okay.
a lot going
Because if
on.
we keep going back and forth, we're gonna be here forever. So we'll
Sure.
check back in with them in a bit.
Okay, stick around. We'll be right back.
Yeah, we'll
No,
get
we're
to the
gonna
chat.
keep it right here.
We're keeping it right
We'll
here.
keep it right here.
All right, so the next one I think is, I know it's still 50-50, but for me, it's 100% guaranteed going to happen, and that is going to be GameCube NSO comes to Switch 2 day one of the console's launch. They're
Yeah.
going to announce it. It's going to be a real thing, and we're finally going to get the Wind Waker, the Twilight Princess, the Metroid Prime 2, all those games that have been heavily rumored or we've been waiting for are the reason why we've been waiting for is because they're holding off for the Switch 2.
Yep.
And it makes sense. My next one is going to be, I don't even know what I put here, but I'm sure it'll be an interesting one.
Something with an A.
Achievements. This is definitely, I don't know if it's going to happen, but I just have this sensing feeling that they could really use this to their advantage. They have somewhat of a system like it, but where you get like coins to use for like profile pictures and stuff like that. I think they're really close, but I think adding achievements could really benefit the Switch and including achievements for Switch 1 games. So it gives more life to your already established library of Switch games. So I think, helping that, boost that first day on Switch, go back and play those other games and, get some second life out of them, basically. You guys are laughing up a storm, and I'm
No,
so
'cause
curious.
Brian's a pain in the neck. That's why.
All right, next one is Banjo-Kazooie Returns.
Connor, what are you talking about? Sorry, keep going. Connor and Justice. This is crazy.
Oh my god, are they saying bad stuff?
No, it's
Oh, no,
funny.
hold
All right,
on.
we got to get to it. All right, yeah, let's talk about it. So
Oh,
Matt there
God.
said, let's go. Or we can go back a little bit. when you started talking about bingo, like I said, Connor said, got a parlay on Brian winning bingo right now. Justice said B7. Squeebo said C6. Bad Hair said, I bet both pinky fingers and a half a big toe on Brandon getting at least 3 in a row. Squeebo said, your PC? Connor said, just lost $400 on the Wizards game. Bummer. Lindsay said, chat isn't doing anything. Don't look.
Wait, who's Lindsay?
Welcome to the chat.
Hello, Lindsay.
Jared looks like a GameCube controller. That's mean. That was from Squeebo. Justice said, GameCube already came out, dude. You're late on that. And then lastly, Connor said, got locked out of my Peacock account for watching The Hurt Locker too many times. All right.
We're
Glad
going
we got
ballistic in
through
the
all
chat.
those.
All right, Banjo. Side note, Banjo-Kazooie's returning.
This is a big, like, blue sky idea. Like, if Banjo-Kazooie came swinging with an actual third game, not like Nuts and Bolts was,
Yeah.
I would go crazy. I mean, I think Xbox and Switch have really gotten tight recently, and I couldn't put it past me if they say, Rare, go make a game for Switch and make something great happen.
Was Nuts and
And-
Bolts any good?
If
Yeah,
you
I've never
like
played
that kind of game, it's a cart builder. It's weird.
No, that doesn't sound like Banjo-Kazooie at all.
Oh, it's not.
Yeah. Interesting.
It's
Okay.
It is not exactly what you want it to be. Next up is the mouse. Mouse. The mouse feature is confirmed.
Yeah,
A
we
mouse
went
will
past-
deliver your Switch 2 directly to your door.
Yeah, and then now your
Yes.
house is gonna be filled with a bunch of pests running around.
No, but in all seriousness, I think this is 100% happening. It's already been like teased in a lot of footage and pictures that you can place the Joy-Con, or honestly, I keep calling it Joy-Con, but what if like they change the name?
What are they gonna change it to?
I don't know, but I could just see
The,
them doing
the
that for some
Switch
reason.
rat.
The
mouse
Wii,
con.
the Wiimote mouse, the Wii mouse, the game mouse. Who knows?
Who knows? But I could totally just see him doing it. Anyways, I'm confirming that the mouse feature will be real. And I just can't wait to see it go down. Next up is Grand Theft Auto makes somewhat of an appearance. I think it's either GTA 4, 5. I don't think it's 6, but that's why I just put GTA. Just
be
to be
wild.
on the safe
If the
side.
Switch 2, if they announced that GTA 6 is coming to the Switch 2 before it comes to PC, I swear to God.
Stranger things have happened.
Yeah, that would be crazy. Yeah. That would entice me to buy a Switch 2 if they said it's coming to Switch before PC. I'd be like, all right, here we go.
There we go. Day one. Next up is a game that heavily uses the mouse feature. So I'm thinking like, that demo game they usually have, that pack-in title. Not that it is a pack-in title, but something that's going to be cost effective. It shows off a little bit more of the features of the new Switch. So I'm thinking, and a lot of the rumors or kind of theories are suggesting, people have been thinking like, well, gee, if you go back to SNES, that thing had a mouse. It had a separate accessory
Yeah,
that you
it
could
did.
plug a mouse
Yep.
into. So people are like, could it be a new Mario Paint? Or
Maybe.
Could be.
or SimCity makes a return.
Yeah. Especially after the abysmal last SimCity game that they did.
Yeah. So I don't know. All I know is that I think there's going to be a game that heavily uses the mouse feature in some way, like it did for the Joy-Con. Oh God, what are people saying?
Justice said mouse games are hot right now.
Great.
Well, we got a lot to cover in the chat right now. Connor says, just release a bunch of mice into Jared's house right now. Skibo says, can a guy just catch a vibe, bro? He's chill. I F with the mouse. Lindsay says, the Joy X-Con. Connor says,
funny.
that's what Jared looks like when a full moon comes around. Skibo says, "Anga, bro, they're gonna talk about Fortnite. I hope they release a Riffmaster or CRKD guitar for Switch."
Yeah,
Um,
they didn't put one for Switch. I'm surprised.
OSU on Switch perchance.
OSU
What is OSU?
Like- operating system. Is that what you mean? Let me know when they get back because I can't see the chat.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Next up is Sakurai appears. Masahiro Sakurai comes out. He's gonna say something about whether it's Kirby, whether it's Kid Icarus, whether it's even Smash Brothers. I feel like he's going to come at some point during this direct and say, "I'm bringing something to the Switch 2. Here it is," and then whatever it is,
That could be cool. I might have
could
something
totally see-
similar in mind.
Yeah.
as well.
Okay. Oh my god.
Just to start beef in the chat. I don't even think that's what the acronym stands for.
What did he say?
Justice said in
He's-
reference to OSU on Switch per chance. Justice said Ohio State sucks.
And then Skibo
then-
says the
go
rhythm
ahead.
game with the ball and numbers. That's what OSU.
I don't know what that is.
Hey, I've never heard that.
Is that the one with the drums?
OSU. This is a game that's blanking on me.
Oh, no, it's a freeware rhythm game that released
Oh.
in 2007.
So it's
that's a
like
deep
checkers.
cut. Yeah,
Checkers
yeah.
level.
That's a deep cut reference. Justice said still trash.
I'm calling it now. The C button on the console stands for casting. You can cast your game to the screen and have your handheld gamepad in front of you, just like the Wii U. And we can bring over DS games, 3DS games, and Wii U games, and it's going to be the Nintendo console of everything above the sun. I think I wholeheartedly think that C button means to cast.
That would be
A lot of people say it's a community feature. It means community. I'm going with casting. That's how I'm going.
Matt Hare says rhythm heaven, but it has DMX tracks in it. Skibo says don't know game. Shake my head.
Sorry, we don't know a free game that came out in 2007.
I just don't know it.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah,
any of us
you
know.
caught me.
Yeah, none of us know.
All right. Next up is a new IP. New console, new IP.
You and I have very similar bingo cards, I'm noticing.
Yeah?
Yeah,
I'm good. I'm glad to
yeah,
hear.
they're similar.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a new IP in the works. They did it with ARMS. I don't think we're getting another ARMS. unfortunately.
That would be crazy.
It'd be crazy if they did. I don't know how well the game actually sold, but
That's the
think
first
they're-
announcement they make when they got here's the console. Here's the first new exclusive game. Welcome to ARMS 2.
you use the mouse feature in some way. So yeah, I think definitely a new IP is on the way. They're cooking something. Ubisoft is there. When are they not there? They've always been there. I feel like.
Are they even
They're
going to be
either getting-
Ubisoft anymore? Because didn't they just sell off some stuff?
Did they?
I
Yeah, I
misread
think they
that.
did. I'm
Yeah,
pretty
right.
certain.
After AC Shadows came out, I think they sold off some stuff. It was already
Yeah,
rumored that they were going to do that.
Yeah,
What do you
AC
mean sold
Shadows
off some stuff?
Sold off
like
different
stock and
companies,
whatnot.
sold, but also different IPs to make their games. I think, or they created a subsidiary. I can't say the word.
Subsidiary.
Thank you to create games based on their IPs.
oh,
I think
okay.
that's what that meant. I think that's what I read. I could be wrong.
I mean, I think they'll keep the name Ubisoft. Do you mean maybe like Ubisoft Paris and all that kind of stuff? Like those
It's
other.
yeah, maybe that's what I saw. I read it very, very briefly.
Okay.
Very brief.
Well, anyways, I think Ubisoft's going to be there. It's either going to be for Assassin's Creed Shadows, Mirage, or Just Dance. It's just going to be there in some shape or form.
Day one, Just Dance 2020.
Day one, Just Dance. Just Dance, switch it up.
Sells 1 million
Uh,
copies.
my free space, I'm sure is everybody's free space, is Mario Kart 9. It's there. We're getting it day one. There's nothing else to say about that.
Yep.
Next up is this one's kind of ambiguous. I made it a little bit of a mystery.
It's Brian.
It's Brian. No.
That was me. I better be getting royalties.
We didn't. So I haven't heard this be talked about a lot, but I think it deserves to be discussed. And I think a lot of people are forgetting about the cloud games that are on Switch 1. And I think day one, all cloud games will become full versions, do not need internet. You can play the game as it was meant to be played without internet.
That's not what I thought you meant by that.
Really?
I thought you meant
Okay.
like Mario 64 remake.
Oh, no. I was thinking cloud games. I think
Yeah.
they get their full thing. And so that means we get like Resident Evil, we get Kingdom Hearts, Control, Guardians of the Galaxy. All those games will be available Switch 2 day one, and they're without internet. So that's a 50-50 chance, I think.
Well, that would definitely help the Switch for sure to be able to do that.
This is also in line with Bethesda making their appearance. I think Treyarch comes out, Black Ops 6 is there, Call of Duty Warfare is there. You pull in a new audience comes in.
Well, they haven't had a COD on their system since Wii U, so that'd be pretty cool.
It'd be huge.
Yep.
I think Treyarch
Especially
because
because COD's free to play.
Yes.
At least the Warzone's free to play. I apologize.
Yeah, Warzone, yeah. But I think 6 will be there as well in some shape or form.
Imagine people like it goes free to play for Warzone, and you have this whole huge group of people who are playing Warzone, this hyper competitive shooter with a bunch of PC players and Xbox and PlayStation players on Switch. It's a bunch of like 8-year-olds.
And they're just creaming you.
Yeah, literally.
All right, next up. This one's sorry, go ahead, Brian.
I was gonna say real quick, we're gonna look in the chat real quick. We got some updates. So Lindsay says that would be dope. I hate having to dock my Switch. Connor says Cheggers is a new IP waiting to happen. Skibo says rip arms. Splatoon will never die, swear to God. Raymond smile. Connor says Switch VR, but it's just a live stream of Brian at work. And then he says cloud and mouse games are hot right now. Skibo says Kingdom Hearts 3, Res E. Justice says Connor is right. Skibo says, nah, give that mouse support in solid 60 frames per second, and that's easy dub. And Lindsay says, creaming? I was thinking the same thing.
It's like don't crumb on me, but creaming.
Don't crumb on me. It's on Criterion.
It's like Criterion. What was I gonna say? Oh, back to the 60 frames thing. I'll come back to that later because it's one of my predictions, basically. But we'll come back to that. Next thing, this one's kind of you wouldn't think this would come from me, but I think it's time.
I don't know. You just talked
Mario
about creaming,
Sport.
so it might come from you. So we'll see.
This is a family channel. Jared, can I talk to you in the other room for a second? Mario Sports is coming, and I think it's going to be in some way. And I think personally, Sluggers is making its grand return.
Oh, that'd be cool.
That'd be great.
I think
people swear by the GameCube one, right? Is that the one I'm thinking of?
Yeah.
There's a GameCube and there's a Wii one. I think people swear by the GameCube one. I think that's the one.
I think they're both beloved. I think people I think that's the only franchise, even though it's only been 2 games, that people just think it's the greatest thing. But I could totally see them coming out of left field and just being like Mario football. Like, could you imagine if they just introduced football?
I'm putting 8 days in that.
Yeah, Brian and I will be playing that every day. That'll entice me to buy a Switch too. They announced something like that. Yeah, I'd buy.
I think it'd be
for Mario football. That's funny though.
It's so funny. Like it's because they don't usually do American sports. I guess to say. I mean, I guess they did golf, but
They did basketball.
yeah, that's true. But that was just a DS. That was made by Square. That game.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So again, weird collaborations.
Very weird.
But I think it's going to be Sluggers. But if they pull out some random wild card, literally, and do football, I think everybody would go absolutely ham. Next is, this is a shot in the dark. I'm saying they're going to make a Game Pass for Switch like they do Game Pass for PC. And I think that's really out there in the park. I don't think they'll actually do that.
I actually don't think that that's a far-fetched idea. I do think
It's
I
not
don't really don't think it
far-fetched.
is either.
state of gaming. I don't really think that that's far-fetched at all. I think that's actually kind of likely.
I think Xbox would be totally down to curate a bunch of games. And I think that's how, and it's in my, I'll spoil this now, it's in my bingo card. That's how we get Master Chief Collection. It's in that pass. It's in that Game Pass for Switch.
Would they be cloud gaming, do you think? I know it kind of contradicts what you just said, but do you think it would be based on the cloud gaming, or do you think you'd have to install it to the system?
I guess that all depends on how well the system can run it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know. Next up is Metroid Prime 4 makes an appearance again, and I think this time we actually get a solid release date. I don't think now a lot of people have been saying it's a day one. I have a hard time believing that. It would be crazy if Nintendo did two big IPs on day one. But at the same time, I could see it because one's heavily multiplayer, one's heavily focused on action single player. So you kind of get a bit of both. There's something happening in the chat.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I see Brian smiling right now.
Mad Hair says Mario Sluggers, aka live feed of Captain Lou Albano smashing people's mailboxes.
Yes.
That is a hell of a reference. Oh my god.
What a pull.
That was great.
Good on you for that. That's awesome.
All right. Next up is Doom the Dark Ages there. Bethesda's
Yeah,
there.
that makes
I think
sense.
That's
Yeah.
guaranteed. No doubts there. We don't have to talk about that too much. And I believe this is our friend. Yeah. Mr. Master Chief himself. Like I said, in some shape or form, Halo is coming to Switch 2. The Master Chief Collection. No doubt in my mind.
Yep.
And we're on the last row now, so we're getting to the tail end. I think we get our first look at the new 3D Super Mario game.
Yep.
And it's going to be, I'll add this to it, it's going to be and one more thing. And then we see what that looks like. What's that one more thing?
Oh, do you think
Super
that one more
Mario
thing
Checkers.
is Super Mario Checkers? Do you think the one more thing will? I actually think if they're going to do one more thing, I actually think it'll be Wind Waker and Twilight Princess at the very end,
For GameCube NSO?
or just in some capacity. Yeah, I actually think that'll close.
You
it.
think that's going to be their one more thing for Switch
I think
2?
I think that will close it. GameCube. I think that's the one thing that everybody's been asking. Out of everything I've seen, that seems to be the thing. So I personally, I think that that'll close it. But a Super Mario also makes sense for it to close.
I could just say, I'm saying Super Mario because it is his 40th anniversary. And it's been...
so that makes sense.
Yeah, and it's been 8 years. 8 years since Odyssey.
Was
We
it
haven't had a-
2017?
Yep.
Yeah.
Long time.
Odyssey's so good.
Odyssey
Odyssey's
was
so
really
good.
good.
And here's my other thing. I really hope it's not Odyssey 2. I want it to be something completely fresh. I don't want a sequel. Even if it's Mario Galaxy 3, I'll accept both.
I was to say, you're telling me that if they didn't say Mario Galaxy 3, you're going, okay.
I think, if anything, I'd want Galaxy 3 over Odyssey because I really think
right with
3.
you.
I think 3 could play a lot into like making space looking incredible on the newer hardware.
Or what about an HD remake of Mario 64? I know that's the second time I brought it up, but I really think that would be massive. It sounds silly on paper, but when you think about it in the current state of things, I actually think that would be kind of massive.
I think what they should do is do Sunshine 2, but it's open world. So like you hop on a boat and you go to a different island, and you go to,
similar to like Wind Waker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and big islands, like
Yeah.
massive. Yeah, I think that'd be really fun to play around with.
That's cool.
Next up is Star Fox. Where is he?
Oh,
Where is he?
I don't know. Ask Brian. I think he was the last one to see him.
Me? I can beat those allegations.
No, I think a Star Fox game would be awesome, especially to sell the mouse feature. If you're just like, cruising around and like shooting things with the mouse clicker thing, and then on the other hand, you've got the controller to steer the ship, I think it would be flawless.
That's kind of
that
cool.
type of yeah. I think it'd be flawless, that type of game to see with the mouse at least.
Mm-hmm.
Or just bring back Nintendo Land. Do Nintendo Land 2.
Yeah, like I said that last week to you. They should do that. And then you should also bring Nintendo Land next time you come to the house.
Yes.
Please. That'd be so fun.
So going back to the 60 frames thing, mouse click thing.
Right.
Yeah. Nintendo doesn't typically talk about specs of a console. They kind of keep that just to like, the articles and stuff. They'll talk about it. But I think this is the one thing they're going to mention is the new DLSS from NVIDIA being in the system.
They have to. They have to talk about that. And especially, like I said last week, they're no longer the sole company doing this. They have competition now. They have to somehow talk about this in some capacity in order to get an edge up over the competition.
I don't think I don't know if they will talk about it. Like I said, Nintendo doesn't generally talk specs in their directs. They didn't really do it in the Switch 1. Very little. But I think if they show this off, and I'll put a cherry on top of this too. They won't call it DLSS. They're gonna call it something wild, like very Nintendo like how PlayStation calls theirs like PSSR or something like that. I can't remember what they call it exactly.
Nintendo DL. Who knows? I don't have a joke.
I think it's gonna be like Super Mushroom Fidelity or something like that. I don't know, something silly dumb like that. Yeah, I don't know. Superstar mode.
Superstar mode would be actually that actually kind of has a nice ring to it.
I could see it being that or something like in that matter. All right, we're on the last two, and then you guys will get to go. Here's my remake.
I'm gonna rapid fire mine. OOT.
Me too.
Oh, Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, that's my Zelda prediction. I don't think they talk about a new Zelda. We get a remake instead, and I think that game would look so gorgeous.
Do a 2-pack remake with Ocarina of Time,
Majora's
Mask. Sell it for $40, dude. We're golden. Day one, the day the Switch comes out, I would, and it looks gorgeous. I would buy a Switch 2 just for that, especially for Ocarina of Time.
It'd be great. I totally get in on it. And then lastly, Cloud comes. Final Fantasy.
You have been talking an awful lot about creaming tonight. I'm a little concerned for you there, pal.
Who?
You.
I didn't even say the word cream.
No, but
Creaming, coming.
I said, oh my god.
It's on the noggin.
It is. It must be, dude.
What are you going to be doing after the stream, Brandon?
Cloud is coming to the Switch too. Now the chat could go wild and say something wild.
Yeah. Final Fantasy VII on his PlayStation, more like.
Listen, all I'm saying is that Final Fantasy VII is releasing on Switch 2.
The remakes?
Yes.
Yeah. Both of them?
Both of them, but separate release dates.
It's just a cash grab. They should just do them in one go.
That is way too much.
You don't think doing it in one go, selling it for $60 or $70 or whatever?
Dude, no way.
No way.
The game is still selling.
That's
the
crazy.
sequel is.
I get it. Or you buy the first one and then you get the second one for free or something like that. Oh, who knows?
I think if anything, the first game is going to come in at least the summer time frame And
It's gonna
then
what?
this is my bingo card.
Thank you, Brian, for jumping in on that.
Anyways, now I could look at the chat and say things. All right, one of your guys' turn.
All right.
Matt here says berries and cream, berries and cream.
God.
Justice said, wow, Brayden, uncalled for. Matt here also said more mouse features. We got ourselves a Nintendo Rat King over here. Cotter says Bill Simmons just talked about the trade rumors with Jared. Broken parlay on that one too. 600 in the red on FanDuel.
I
Dear
can go
Lord.
next.
Bet.
What's that?
Can you share, Brian? Are you able to share
Yeah.
on your side?
Should
Oh, okay,
be
good.
able to.
Can I can do that too,
Give
right?
me
Yep.
1 second.
Yeah, I'll rapid fire mine as well. You know,
Okay,
Brian,
yeah.
if that's how you're going to do yours, Brian,
Yeah.
there's
So,
no
hold on.
secret in mine. It's just here it is. Here's what I think. Next one. You want to talk about it? We'll talk about
Yep.
it next.
Yeah, I would say you're just gonna be able to see my whole card right out of the gate. So
Justice says I need to calm down. I think Justice needs to calm down.
You're
I don't
opening yourself up there.
actually, you know
pal,
what? I
for-
can zoom in. Here we go. All right, this works.
Yeah, how do you? You're gonna have to tell me how to do that.
I just you just use the zoom feature.
Yeah.
Where's your? Are you? Did you
Oh,
save
that
it
must be. That must be. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I didn't know if there's.
Did you save it as an image?
Yeah, I can
Well,
just.
there
see
you
that.
go.
Yep.
Here we go. You guys
I already
ready?
see it. Yeah, you ready? I'm about to allow it.
All right.
That's really zoomed in, brother.
Because everything
okay.
else, like, there's no covers on anything, so it's just
That's
whatever,
hilarious.
so you can't see anything else.
approve.
Right out of the gate, we're getting Fast RMX 2. I didn't realize this was already a franchise. So that
last week,
Fast
right?
RMX was the third game in a F-Zero-esque franchise. I loved Fast RMX, and I think they should make a fourth one / RMX sequel. Next one, this is Mario Kart. We're just gonna get either more Mario Kart, what is it called, like gameplay, or they're just gonna do the release date, or both. Not much else to that. I think that's a gimme. This one, we're gonna get Scalebound.
This guy is
this is
spellbound.
this is for me mostly. I've been talking about this game ever since we started the podcast. Please, somebody pick up this game and finish it. I think Switch 2 would be the best platform for him to go on, even though I probably won't get a Switch 2 for quite some time. Finishing out, I think this. Fourth one, Mega Man. Maybe we get a new Mega Man game. I thought of this late when I was putting together the bingo card here. I think it would be totally out of left field, and I think everybody would love it because we have not gotten a Mega Man game since I couldn't
11.
tell you. 11. Okay, so
Do you
I
think
think
it
it would
is
be open.
exclusive to the Switch too?
Yes, I think so.
Interesting.
Yeah, and
That's a
maybe
good one.
it's maybe they shadow drop it first on Switch and then it comes out on Switch 2. Maybe they just send it straight to Switch 2 and it's a day one launch. I don't know. Finishing out this one, the direct's gonna be over 30 minutes.
No, I'm not gonna laugh at that. That's a good bingo card.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
funny.
All right, so moving on down. let's
Also,
go on
while we're
down.
stopping, Lindsay says just get good at zooming.
Oh
Connor-
yeah, because I'm amazing at zooming. She's talking about you, Jared.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate the dig. Also, that's rude.
Connor says, whatever A24 just released in the shop for Death of a Unicorn is on my bingo card. And Justice puts out MK Ultra.
Mario Kart
MK
Ultra.
Is that what he's calling
Sure.
it?
Or he's referencing Mortal Kombat Ultra.
No,
That's what I
Mortal
thought.
no,
Kombat.
MK Ultra is not related to any of these things.
Okay. I'm glad you understand his references because sometimes
Yes,
I
MK
don't
Ultra
always-
is not related to video games whatsoever. I do not think that can be discussed in the podcast. Anyway, next. Next up,
Justice, we're gonna ban you in a second.
next up is we'll probably see GTA 5 in some capacity. I picked 5 out of any of the more recent ones. Like 4 could probably very well be the one, but I think 5 would be the smartest one to show. Next up, we're getting a Game Pass with
All
Switch.
right.
I think it's. I don't want to say it's inevitable, but it's very, very, very likely we're going to get a Game Pass with Switch. I think it makes too much sense to do it. Next one up. Now this one, I'm just throwing stuff at a wall and seeing what sticks. So what I mean by COD Retro is we get for the first time ever, people have been clamoring for it. We get some kind of trilogy of COD games remade specifically for Switch 2. Or they go across all platforms, but I think Switch 2 would be just releasing on Switch 2 would be the smartest thing. Like say oh, here's Treyarch with their thing. They show Black Ops 6 coming to Switch. Also, then they re-release, let's say, Black Ops 1, 2, and 3 on Switch 2. Completely remastered everything. I think that would be a huge hit and it would sell like hotcakes. Next up, speaking of racing games, as we did with Fast RMX specifically, and then a little bit of Mario Kart, let's say they drop a new F-Zero. We haven't had a new F-Zero in years, and Fast has been that. Basically, it's the scratch that people have been wanting out of F-Zero. It's essentially the same thing, but they can't get the licensed characters and all that. But F-Zero, let's say Fast doesn't make it. I don't see both F-Zero and Fast making it because they're so similar. So it's one or the other, and I think the more popular one would be F-Zero.
They did release F-Zero 99 on Switch Online, so maybe
they did.
Maybe to garner some sort of interest, maybe in the F-Zero franchise.
Honestly, that would be that'd be very smart of Nintendo.
Oh, Brian, I could see this happening, Bragg.
So, I have a couple other things in my bingo card that relate to this, but we have not gotten a Madden game on a Nintendo console, I believe, since Madden on 3DS. Somebody can correct me on that. I don't know if anything ever came out for Wii U, but 3DS.
No, there was.
There was.
13,
okay.
Yeah,
right?
Madden 13.
Okay, that would make sense. But Madden Switch 2, I think, is powerful enough to handle these modern Madden games. I don't know why they never tried porting it over to Switch. Maybe. I don't know. But I
Just
think
look
Madden
at FIFA.
Yeah, NBA as well. NBA didn't. They're still releasing NBA games on Switch. I don't know what kind of deal 2K has with them, but they're releasing them and they're not doing well. So I think Madden would be a great addition in terms of sports games to the Switch library, and it would be a welcomed return for Nintendo. Next up down here, let's throw some more stuff at a wall and see what sticks. Let's see something Need for Speed related, whether it's another, let's say, like, we get a COD retro pack, and then we get like a Need for Speed retro pack, something. I don't know. I highly doubt they would announce a new Need for Speed at this direct. Maybe they're just like, the 3 most recent Need for Speeds are going to be coming because the last 3 events so different from each other. So that'd be like Unbound, Heat, and I think Payback was the other one. Anybody can correct me on that, but
they also had. Oh no, you said Heat. Never mind. No,
it was. I think it was Payback, Heat, and then Unbound or whatever it was. What's up?
The remake there, or the reboot there.
Oh yeah, that came before.
Oh, they said
those
Rivals.
Well. Oh, Rivals is before those as well. Rivals would be a cool addition. I like Rivals. Which I may have mentioned in our last episode regarding racing games. I like racing games. I don't know if you guys noticed or not.
Actually, the last time you mentioned Most Wanted, and I did go on Steam, and I did purchase that on Steam, and it was like $2, and I played it for like 20 minutes. It's pretty fun.
That's cool. Next one up, we're probably getting Halo. I think it's pretty much confirmed at this point. The Master Chief Collection is going to come to Switch. Halo Infinite will probably also come to Switch. And I think Infinite would be such an easy port, just sending it over there because it's already, I think the multiplayer is free.
It is.
So that's such an easy port to do. Master Chief Collection, it's more than likely to happen. So why not throw it on the bingo card? Next up, we have Free Space. Free Space is coming to Switch.
Nice.
Free Space is just my free space. Next up, Brandon freaks out over something. It could be anything. He could freak out in the first 10 seconds. I'm just betting on
It's
this.
starting. It's starting. It's starting.
We're gonna
I've been
get
freaking out already.
In our group chat, I'm gonna say Brandon sends something in all caps within the first 3 minutes of the direct. I think something crazy is gonna happen.
Or we could torture Brandon and tell him he needs to stay off of social media until all of us get off of work, and then we react to it all at the same time.
Oh my god!
Look at him; he's so
No.
mad about that.
No,
That-
I have a date with Nintendo at 9 a.m. sharp.
That'd be hilarious.
And next up, something Lego related would be.
I
really
thought about
cool.
this too lately. Yeah.
Yeah, I think something. Whether
Lego-
again, another bundle or whatever gets released on there, or they just announce out of the blue a brand new Lego property.
Well, they're working on something.
They're definitely working on something. And I think Switch 2 would be the market to go after.
Are we saying, like, kind of the one that was for PlayStation? Horizon Zero Dawn.
Oh, a Horizon Adventures.
Do you
or
think
whatever it was
they'll
called.
do you think they'll do a Nintendo Lego game?
Oh,
I actually
That'd
think
be-
they're going to do a Disney one, something Disney related. At
A
least that's
Disney
what the
one would be
reports
good.
have said, is that they're doing a Disney related one.
Okay.
but either one of those would make so much sense for Switch. I mean, obviously, the Nintendo one would make for coming out on Switch. That makes sense. Wouldn't know why we'd get a Lego Nintendo game on like Xbox, but
Well, why would we
Yeah.
get a Lego Horizon game on Xbox and on
that's very
Switch?
true. That's very true. That's
Right?
very true. That's true.
Does it make sense? Nope. That'd be
Actually,
cool.
Jared,
We-
Jared, you know what I found out?
Hmm.
That game never came to Xbox.
Oh, it didn't? It never came to Xbox? It was just Switch?
Just
It
Switch
was
and
just-
PlayStation, right?
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Going on down here to the next row. I don't watch it. Not because I
You got
don't want to. I will be at work, so that's essentially another free space.
But I'll be blowing up Brian's phone.
Yeah, I'll
There
be at
is
work
no way, shape, or form I am going to be able to watch the direct. So
Yeah, I'm gonna stay off of. I'm probably not gonna respond to you guys the day that it happens until I watch
Mhm.
it. Then I'll open the chat.
gotcha,
Matt Hare
gotcha.
says, don't do that to Brand Flake. Let him browse the socials. It's actually my job at work.
he is
Yeah.
he is social media.
Yeah, he is. Which is why it would be hilarious, Matt Hare, to torture him in that way, to have him not be on social media in any way, shape, or form for an entire day.
Next up, Killer Instinct 2, baby.
Ooh, that's a good one.
We have the last Killer Instinct came out in. It was an Xbox One title.
It was a launch
It was
title.
one of the. It's free now. Funny enough, I didn't know it was free. That was what? So Xbox One came out 20.
I want to say 15,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
2014, 2015.
So we have not seen a Killer Instinct game in 10 years. Now would be the best time to drop it if they're getting all these Microsoft titles. So
Yep.
Make that a day one title as well, and you might convince me to get your console.
Wasn't Killer
maybe.
Instinct the original ones developed by Rare?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that would be cool.
Yeah, so that'd be pretty sick.
Gerard, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. Just in the midst of our Switch 2 bingo cards here.
Next up.
I was gonna say thank
Um,
you. I was gonna say you, Brandon. I was gonna be like, oh, thanks. I've been here the whole time.
Next up, I don't know if this has already happened or not. Because we
Nope.
have not discussed it, but they're just gonna say the exact day of when the Switch is coming out.
Let's take a quick vote. June or May?
June.
Oh, I'll say June.
I don't want to say June. I want to say May, but I know it's going to be June. I'm hoping early June.
Early June would be nice.
Right
like a June-
before
just-
school gets out in the
Yes.
States.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, that'd be nice. Next up, college football. Bring it to Switch. If
Well,
we're
if it's
getting
gonna
mad
be
and
if it's gonna be Game Pass, right? You're gonna bring Game Pass.
gonna be Game Pass. They could do if let's say Game Pass doesn't happen, we do the college football Madden dual packs again. I did not do that. I bought college football on my own, then I had or on its own, and then I had Madden gifted to me. That's like later, like a couple months later. But that would make sense to me. If we're bringing sports games back, bring the best one that came out last year, which is college football. The one I've already put 8 days into. Next
Gerard
one.
says an entire game based around the Lego Mario toy would be interesting. That's what I'm saying.
It would sell extremely well.
Now, if we're talking sports games, this one came out. I think this is the last square I filled out.
That's our arms replacement. Hey,
No,
finally! That's what
Punch
we've
Out.
been waiting for.
Punch
We
out.
just, get,
Yeah.
we just get a punch out, reboot, remake, something like that. Make that another day one launch. Just have a bunch
You know
of games
what?
for your day one launches.
The one on Wii is awesome.
The one on Wii is great. But you know what I'd like to see what them do with Punch Out?
What's that?
They should do a career mode.
That'd be really cool.
You just
pretty
make your own
sweet.
character and you just like train with, the characters of Punch Out and you fight them and you build your own career out of it.
What if you had like a Creed style story where Little Mac is the one coaching you, and he's older and he's more grizzled?
Yeah.
That'd be,
Oh my god.
oh,
That'd be great.
that would sell. I think it would sell. I think this is the last row, if I'm not mistaken, coming up here.
Yeah, it is.
Red Dead Redemption 2. It's been
I've been hearing
teased.
it.
Yep. We've been hearing it a lot. We've talked about it. I think it's coming. Not much else to that.
Yep.
Switch mouse, we talked about it. That's most likely gonna happen as well. It's a given. If they're getting a mouse feature, we're getting a Nintendo mouse to some extent that will probably only be compatible with the Switch too. Just somehow they'll figure out a way. So you can't use it on PC. Next up,
Or maybe it can. You can connect Joy-Con to computers.
that's true. You did tell me about that. Maybe. Oh, who knows? Maybe you can. Maybe it's just a standard mouse. It just has a USB. You plug it in, whatever. Bring WWE back to Switch. Their last time was pretty ugly. It was 2K18. It did not run well, and it kind of flopped in terms of sales, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
2K Battlegrounds was their last one.
Yes, Battlegrounds was
Yeah.
the last one to come over to the Switch,
Yeah,
or
that
just
wasn't-
Nintendo in general. I think if you do this, they'd have to do 2K25 just because of the updated rosters and everything. You either do that or going back to retro stuff, you release older WWE games on there. Maybe you really re-release some of the SmackDown versus Raws, and that's how you bring people in. You could do 06, 07, 08, something like that. Get those on there. Those are all
That would
fan
be
favorites.
wild. That's a
That would be
real
wild.
throw. That's a real
Yeah.
binary.
They need to put the one that was on N64. I remember
Oh,
playing that.
no mercy, baby.
Yes.
No mercy's the bee's knees. That would be crazy. Well,
Something like
bring
that would
that
be-
to Nintendo Switch Online.
Right,
Ooh.
exactly.
Oh, that'd
There's
be
a lot
really
of
cool.
licensing stuff that they'd have to go through probably.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Next up, I don't know what I put here. Oh, Indiana Jones.
Oh, yeah.
They'll probably if it's a Game Pass title, so I mean technically if they do their own Game Pass and a lot of the games carry over from either Xbox Game Pass or PC Game Pass, we'll probably see this title on there. It's a big game, so I'm very curious to see how the Switch 2 is going to handle it.
See, when I
Um,
think of them putting Game Pass on Switch, I'm thinking it only goes up to like Xbox One, and then everything else you might have to pay extra for because they're going to have to do some tweaking around to
That's
make it
true.
work.
Well, that goes
Or
back
may-
to the question of whether it's cloud gaming or you install it directly to the system.
That I
true.
don't know. I think it's like the same way how PlayStation does it. It's like PS3 games you play in the cloud, but PS4 games you have to download them.
Yeah.
Yeah. They could just like port this one and just like downgrade it ever so slightly from
Yeah, just
like,
optimize it.
just optimize it. Yeah,
But
exactly.
if that DLS is in there, it might not need a lot of optimization. It might be able to figure it out on its own.
that's true. That's
Yeah.
very true.
If it's supposed to be on par with like a Steam Deck or something a little bit higher than that, then yeah, it probably
Yeah.
Mason, you're probably right.
what did I have for this next one? Oh, my biggest
Aha.
Hail Mary, probably. Smash Bros. They don't say a full title. They just say one is in development. I doubt we'd get
Is
any
this
gameplay or anything
is
like
this
that.
the one more thing to you?
Yes, I think for me this is the one more thing. Out of anything else that's listed on here, this is, oh hey, we have one more thing, and then maybe they just pop up the logo and that's it. We've talked about game teasers before. If you just pop up the logo, that's all we need. You don't have to say anything else. We
Yeah,
know it's on its way.
There's a Smash on every console from Nintendo,
Yeah.
from the N64 on, so it makes
Mhm.
yeah.
It just makes so much sense. And everybody thought Ultimate was gonna be the last one. There's so much. I still think there's so much more they can do. So we'll see what happens. It'll probably bring in the biggest roster we've ever had. There's Switch 2 is just gonna be very powerful. So I
Imagine if
foresee
they
them-
do Smash and then WWE's incorporated into that some way, so we get
my
wrestlers
God.
and effing Smash. That'd be John Cena's in there or something. That'd be hilarious.
That'd be crazy. They've been more WWE has been showing up in a lot of different video game properties lately. WWE is doing something in Fortnite now, which
Yup.
is, or like I guess maybe they've got. They think they did it before, but now they're doing it again. Something like that. But
Unfortunately, Sakurai's rule is only video game characters.
boring. They're all in video games. They come out every year.
That's right.
Anywho, all right, Jared, rapid fire.
All right, I'm gonna try to hopefully I do this correctly.
I will say it was very easy just using my mouse pad to zoom in and like scroll back and forth. That's what I
know,
use.
but he's got a mouse.
It's very true.
All right, do you see it?
Gerard agrees with you. He said the same thing with the one more thing, and they just show the Smash logo.
Yeah, it makes too much sense, I think.
All right, it's all you, Jared.
Okay, can you see it? I don't. I'm just what's going commando over here? All right, new 3D Mario. We've already talked about it. I think we're gonna see it. Whether it's gonna be day one or not, don't know. But we're definitely gonna see something new with the 3D Mario. We've already discussed that. Mario Kart 9. Yeah, guaranteed.
Yeah.
I also think it's gonna be day one. It's gonna be the big console seller for sure. Wind Waker. So I put Wind Waker. Oh no! Where'd it go? Did I just lose that? Don't you tell me I just lost it. All right, hold on a minute.
No, go. You actually went to the next page. That's what you did.
Oh,
Yeah.
there it is. All right. Oof. All right. So I put Wind Waker and Twilight Princess right next to each other. Listen. They've been talking about it for years. Whether or not it's actually going to happen, I don't know. At this point, I'm just kind of throwing it out there because more specifically, I want Wind Waker more so than Twilight Princess. That's just a personal preference. I think an updated Wind Waker with its art style would just be amazing.
I still think it's only going to be NSO, but
yeah, I mean, that's honestly at this point, that's probably the most likely thing, which is, to your point, that's why they've held off for so long. Would love for them to do HD. Just ports even of the Wii U versions.
Right.
Metroid Prime 4 in day one. I still think it's day one. I've been feeling that way for a bit. I think having that Mario Kart 9 and some third-party support, I think will make the Switch 2 launch one to remember for sure.
Totally.
All right, so we'll go down here and then we'll go down. See if I can zoom in more. Okay. Oh yeah, Earthbound HD. Yeah. I said yeah. I wanted to throw a Hail Mary out there for that. I think the original Earthbound's amazing. And I think
full remake, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, full HD remake in the same style of like the Dragon Quest remakes and the
Octopath.
Yes, thank you, Octopath Traveler.
Yeah.
Same sort of thing, art style wise. There's definitely an audience for it. I think particularly with this game, I think it would be awesome. I honestly kind of forgot to put that.
I think Square should do it.
Did they develop Earthbound? I can't remember.
No, but they did the Octopath games.
Oh, so give them that would be cool. Yeah. Or honestly, whoever did the Super Mario RPG remake, whatever develop, I love that game. So I think even if you just give it to those guys.
Yeah, who did that? I forgot.
I don't know. Anyways, moving on. Luigi's Mansion 4. Throwing it out there. I don't think it'll be day one or in the first year or anything, but with the way that they've been releasing the HD remakes and the ports, I think it's pretty much inevitable at this point that we're probably they're setting up for something.
Yeah.
Been a lot of love there. New 3D Kirby. Yep. I think the Forgotten Lands was pretty awesome. Played that with my wife. It was really fun. I think I'm going to take an even bigger throw out there, and I'm going to say first year we're going to get a new Kirby game.
That's a good guess. It's been a while. Oh my God, yeah.
Pikmin 5. I think, again, similar to what I said before about Luigi. Same thing with Pikmin. They re-released them on Switch with the HD remakes. Definitely garnering interest for future Pikmin titles. So I think Pikmin 5 is pretty much.
4 did so well, you don't even know it.
Yes, that's what I mean. So, like,
Yeah.
doing that, I think it makes sense. I don't think it comes in the first year, but maybe in the first 2 years, we'll see a 5.
I don't even think it happens in direct, but I know it's happening.
Yeah. I mean, it's a pretty, like, I think Pikmin's great. Brandon, is the audience pretty huge for Pikmin? I don't know.
It grew substantially
On the
when they
Switch,
released. Yeah, because like
Yeah.
you can play 1, 2, 3, and 4. You can play all Pikmin games now in one swoop, in one system.
Well, and then that's the thing. You put 5 on Switch 2, right? And then Switch 2 being backwards compatible. So it's, same thing as Brian, F-Zero. Come on. What are we waiting for? Especially as like a party. Just as like a party
It's been
game.
way too long
Yeah.
since a brand new F-Zero title.
Agreed. GTA 5. I think it's pretty much inevitable at this point. We don't need to go into that. Animal Crossing. I think we're gonna get a new one.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
It's either the Sakurai one more thing, or this is the one more thing.
Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
I will say Animal Crossing New Horizons, great in the beginning of the game. Really loses steam after a while. It's definitely lacking some features. Multiplayer, especially, I think the 3DS game is far more enjoyable for me and my wife. And so I think if they take elements from the 3DS game and the Switch game, not to say the Switch game's bad, it adds a lot of good stuff in it. I think trying to mesh those two together and then making a new game, I think would be awesome.
If it does what that Nintendo Switch online playtest does, it's going to be massive.
I can't wait. Free Space. Got nothing for that.
It's coming to Switch.
It's coming to Switch. Splatoon. It's pretty much inevitable. Splatoon is huge. We're going to get a new one. Massive audience. I think it's inevitable.
It's a lot of Nintendo properties in this.
Yeah, that's all I threw out. I wanted to do I tried to stick to exclusives in this list. Same as Mason, right? Original IP. I think it's time, as I'm sure you guys are maybe feeling the same way too with Nintendo.
I think they always just. I think they always do one every new system. Like there's always one new IP. It's guaranteed.
Let's do something new. Oh yeah, so Asher did this. So I asked Asher, my son, what he wanted for the new Switch, and so he's like, a Mario game with a loop-de-loop. You go
Mario Kart 9.
We love that.
Yeah, he said. Actually, what he said was Mario game with a loop-de-loop, and then Mario goes into a giant hole. That's what he said. So I thought that was hilarious.
Sounds like Sonic's game career.
Literally, that's all. I didn't want to say that to him, but he's literally just describing Sonic. But I was like, yeah, that's cool, buddy.
Well, I said Sonic's game career because he goes into a hole.
Yeah. A new Yoshi 3D game. Again,
Yeah.
I think it's time.
Oh, 3D.
Yeah, new Yoshi 3D game.
Not 2D.
No,
not
3D.
the 2D. Okay.
No, 3D. I think they need to step away from that arts and crafts style, and I think they need to do something in the spirit of Kirby's and the Forgotten Lands. I think that could be really awesome for Yoshi. Almost similar to what they did with Yoshi's Story on N64, but maybe something entirely Yoshi in
that is
new
2D.
Kirby style. Oh yeah, I guess it is, isn't it?
No, they've never
2D
made a 3D
side-scrolling.
Yoshi game. But I'd be interested to see what they would do.
Yeah, I think again in the same vein as the Forgotten Lands. Oh,
Yeah,
price.
yeah.
Okay, so here's my
Price.
prediction for the price. I said $349.
You think?
Yeah, I think it's going to be
You think it's gonna-
$349. Do you think it's going to be higher?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
think
think
so?
it's going to cost as much as an OLED?
Yeah,
You think that they're going to have the OLED
350.
and the
I
Switch
think they
2?
do a price drop. Hold on. They do
Okay.
a price drop on the OLED. And then they sell this at that price. And the reason why I'm saying that is because to compete, it sits in the middle between a Series S and a PS5 original model. And then it's also lower than a Steam Deck. So it sits pretty in the middle. And then that way they can sell it at more volume.
I think they're going to price it at 400 or 450.
You see, 450, I think that's too high.
But I think the features are going to make it worth it. That's the thing. I think
Yeah.
what they pack into
I mean, even
it is
400 is still, again, it's a little, it sort of sits in the middle, but I think having it less than a Series X and a PS5 is monumentally helpful, as well as
Yes.
having it sit either a little bit lower or around the same price as the Steam Deck. I also think will help it. For
I
sure.
understand. I get it.
Oh, new Pro controller. I don't know. I was just throwing something at the wall. They always do this with every new console, whether it's the Wii had one, the Wii U had its own, the Switch just has its own. A Pro controller for the Switch 2, I think, is kind of either
It's gonna
inevitable.
happen.
Yeah. Oh, remastered Pokemon. I don't know. I just was throwing something at the wall, seeing maybe like a remastered Pokemon Stadium was where my mind went to, because I love those
We
games.
did so they did Pearl and Diamond, and those were kind of like iffy, but if they threw like Platinum on there,
Yeah.
would sell like crazy. If it's
I'm
done
telling
right.
you, Pokemon Stadium, I think, is the one.
Yeah, that would
think that's
it
the one.
makes a ton of sense.
Well,
Yeah,
aren't they doing Pokemon Coliseum? Or what's that game that's coming out that's free to play?
I don't know. We'll talk about that
I think
later. We
it's-
don't have a lot more time. And this is my last row, I think. Yeah. So Smash Bros. We already talked about it. It's inevitable.
Mm-hmm.
New Paper Mario.
Ooh.
They just re-released the remaster for Thousand Year Door. So I think, as I always say with remasters, they're doing it for reasons. Probably again to gauge interest in a new one. So I think it's maybe not Paper Mario, but maybe like another RPG, just another Mario RPG.
Mm-hmm.
This one I threw out there because I was thinking of GameCube games, and I thought, what would be really cool for them to bring back? Eternal Darkness. Eternal Darkness is a pretty sweet GameCube game, and it was a Nintendo exclusive, but there's only been one game.
Better yet, they bring the remake that we haven't seen in such a long time.
Eternal Darkness remake?
Yeah, aren't they making? Or no, sorry, Perfect Darkness.
Perfect Dark.
Getting-
Perfect
Yeah.
Dark. Yeah, no, not the
Sorry.
same thing. That would be cool. But Eternal Darkness, a new horror game, first party, developed in-house by Nintendo, would be awesome. I think that would really put them in the conversation with Xbox and PlayStation in terms of them going more adults in some aspects. Yeah, Mario and Rabbids, like Brandon said with
Rabbids.
Ubisoft's Rabbids. What did I say? Oh, that's hilarious. I was writing this
Mario.
Rabbids. That's hilarious. Don't mind that. That's coming. Next one. Yeah, GameCube. That's funny. GameCube NSO. Yeah, I think that's pretty much inevitable. I feel like there was one other thing I wanted to say about it, but I can't think of it at the moment. But I've
all
loved.
first parties.
Yep, that's what I tried to go for. Personally, if there's one I could pick, the one I want the most maybe is probably that one.
That'd be
I think-
crazy if they did it.
In the same vein. All right,
That
we're
would
good.
be the one more thing I think if they did that.
Yeah, it'd be awesome.
All right.
That's it.
Well, that's it. If you guys don't see me after Wednesday, I'm camping out at GameStop because they didn't want to give me a pre-order.
If GameStop's even still available anymore, because it sounds like they're selling
Oh,
off
I
all the
won't-
stores for crypto.
Also, Gerard said it. Pokemon Unite. That's it.
Oh, that's the game. That's the new free-to-play game.
Yes, it's pretty much like Stadium.
See, I think they should just remake Stadium 1 and 2 and put that, or just do a third one. I really think if they want to win back some of that audience, I think Stadium, those are ones I often hear about, and I love those games.
Mhm.
So I think
I would say look at Pokemon Unite because it's pretty close to it.
pretty close to Stadium.
It's pretty close to Stadium.
If we're going like standard Pokemon release, Black and White does probably make the most sense because they've already covered Sinnoh.
Was Black and
covered
White, were those the
Holland.
DS ones?
Yeah. And they did do sequels. Those are one of the only I think that's the only franchise within Pokemon that I know that got direct sequels. So they got Black 2 and White 2. That would probably make the most sense. Like I said, they already covered Sinnoh with
no, it's not Unite. That's like the League of Legends game. No, it's something else.
Oh, there's Pokken Tournament.
No, it's
that's
Pokemon
a fighting
Coliseum.
game.
No, what the heck is
Yeah,
it
so that's
called?
kind of like Stadium in
Mhm.
a way, right?
Free to play.
Pokken Tournament?
Isn't that
Oh,
kind of like
hold on.
Stadium?
That's like Street
Mm.
Fighter.
It's like Street Fighter.
Nothing like Stadium. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
Never played it.
Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat. It's cool. Yeah, Black and White would probably be the one. Like I said, they covered.
I'm sorry. Pokemon
okay.
Champions. I just wanted to make sure I wanted to get it right so you guys can look it up.
Pokemon Champions. Okay,
Gotcha.
got it. Well, I think
Um,
that's it, y'all.
yeah.
That's it.
I think that's our show.
Alrighty. Well, next week we're probably going to talk about the direct, how it went down, what we all think. So get ready
Yeah.
for that.
Or maybe we could do an impromptu podcast in the middle of the week.
I ain't got time for that.
I'm just saying. Maybe Brian and I will do an impromptu podcast in the middle
I'll
of
just
the week.
pop up on YouTube Live mobile as I'm just like driving home and then cover it myself. And then I get into a high-speed chase. Whole shootout. Be the greatest live we've put on.
That'd be awesome.
Alrighty. Well, whether that happens or not, we'll see you all next time.
See you next time. Toodaloo!
Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh, we forgot to do our intro.
Oh,
shit,
no. We did.
Oh,
Oh,
why
well.
does this keep happening? Well, good stuff, guys. Awesome. We had a good turnout. We had like 8 people at one point.
We did. I think that's probably the biggest turnout we've had.
Yep.
Mason, I think you should do. You said you don't have time, but I really think it would be really sweet if you recorded yourself reacting to the direct in real time, and then we could put that up.
It's gonna be 9 a.m. and my grandma's down here, and
All right.
I'm not gonna be. I'm telling you, I'm not gonna react that crazy like by myself.
He's gonna be like 9 a.m. Oh my god, look at this fish. Oh my god, it's gonna be so amazing.